Hello everyone, welcome to another episode 7 of Arbaal. So, we've just attacked Nurgle, and the idea here is to completely conquer the territories from Tamurkhan. And for that, we're gonna need some blood hosts, so we're gonna have the next blood host spawn with 2 extra units. That should help. In terms of tech, let me see what we decide here. I'm thinking that I'm gonna go a little bit more into blood hosts, so at least get him to spawn with exalted blood letters instead of blood letters. So let me see if I can reach that tech later on. Gonna need some units, that's for sure. And I'm thinking on, getting them to Arbaal is really good because he doesn't spend a lot of upkeep on them. He has a lot of upkeep reductions, so it's almost free for him. Let's get Blood for the Blood God. Rocket of Inevitability. That sounds nice. Affects enemies in range all. With melee defense, that's nice. That actually helps more than getting more melee attack. So, can I reach the floating mountain? Hold on, there's an army there. I know that it's the one with some rotflies. I cannot reach. Oh, I'm so glad I checked. Hold on. I need force march slightly. I hope there's not a lot of armies nearby. I should have been... should have been more careful there. I might be attacked by someone. Well, still, this army in Force March is really cool. Let's get the Rock of Inevitability. It's inevitable. It's inevitable that you'll reach a rock. Yeah, I did get some spawn of corn. That's nice. I know that people prefer Minotors and stuff, but don't be afraid of, liking the spawn of corn, because they are just, very tanky units, very damage-dealing units. So, yeah. Let's get some chosen from this gentleman. And what else can we get? We don't have a lot of money, actually, so that's going to be a problem. In fact... I'm gonna need the upkeep. Yep, I'm gonna need the upkeep. Because that's gonna be a problem, that's for sure. And I need some gold here to at least go over, so that I don't have attrition. Yep. This is all so we don't have the attrition. So let's see.
Death comes swiftly.
And we're gonna get the Chosen of Corn. I want the Skull... Reapers as well, because I'm still doing the mission, so I need kills with Skull Reaper units. So yeah, let me just merge. Come on, merge so that I can have the full units there. There we go. Much better, much better. And I don't want a building now. I am suffering less from upkeep, so yeah. Distract them with slaughter. Control +4, it's actually plus nice. Super nice. To invest that for control, yes please. That's much better. Control is something that I'm not pushing too much on my buildings or anything, so yeah, might as well go for it. And for the most part, you achieve control with corruption, with corn. So that's how you do it. Oh, Tamurkhan has a big army. Oh, he just regenerated, yeah. Because he comes out really fast, actually. Tamurkhan has a little bit less of a spawn timer than a respawn timer than others. Still, it were like 2 turns. Okay, let's get Scarred Veteran. And by the way, if you don't hear me speaking at points, I'm yawning, and the reason for that is I have 2 kids. I keep saying that, but yeah, they don't sleep well, so I don't sleep well. So I assure you, this is just as good as I can do it at this moment, even with a couple of coffee cups in my belly. So that's a lot of great weapons. That's a lot of damage dealing units. In fact, he has 1 shielded unit. Oh, goodness. Well, that's a problem, actually. Because that means that army is going to do a lot more damage than I was expecting. Well, I still have my Wrathmongers here, the Bloodwake Berserkers. Oh yeah, another unit with blood in it. With the ability called Bloodstorm. I mean, yeah, at least they're immune to flanking. So, the idea here is that, of course, I wait for the reinforcements, I position properly, and then I'll have a lot of damage dealing on those reinforcements. So, hopefully that damage dealing will reflect in less damage there. I'm not able actually to use all the abilities from all of these units, as in to the maximum. Ideally, I would like my chosen halberds to go against Tamurkhan, but he may just fight on the other side of the battle, who knows. But let's try it out. Let's fight the battle. So we already got our reinforcements, and I'm now poking a little bit with the Marauder Horseman, trying to bait some of his units into a vanguard of cavalry units from my side, and then I'll attack on the front lines, try to get as many units as I can with the flank of flyers. So that's the plan. That's basically the plan. Tamurkhan is currently a little bit leaning towards the side where I have my chosen of with halberds, which I would love if they would attack him, because that would be the best case scenario. But still, if doesn't, I'll have some spawn against them, something with a heavy hit, because he regenerates. Whenever a unit regenerates, either people say fight with fire, and I say no, just don't make constant low damage against it, because you need to do a lot more damage than he can regenerate. So you need to use strong damage dealers, single entities, spawn units, monsters infantry, that sort of idea, cavalry even. What you don't use is small amounts of infantry surrounding him, because he'll just regenerate at the same time that he's taking damage, and that there's no chance. So yep, that worked. The Rot Knights are under attack now by a lot of units, so that's one less unit to one less, good entity that will take us out. And the enemy is approaching slowly, as Nurgle does, but still, he's just walking. He's not even moving forward too fast, so that's good. That gives me time to get rid of a couple more units, and I'll be able to get rid of those two Forsaken units way before the enemy comes in. So my Skull Reapers and my Chariot and my Berserkers here, my Wrathmongers, are doing short work of the Nurgle's Forsaken. Even though Nurgle's Forsaken are quite a good unit, they're a nice damage dealer, they can't withstand the pain of so many good units that cause damage. That Chariot is also not going to survive too long. And now we have the main battle lines engaging, or trying to engage. I believe I managed to do the full assault, the full attack with my units. I still get the charge bonus, so that's good. But Tamurkhan is coming in right in the middle, and that's not where I have my chosen halberds. So we're gonna have to do with my other damage dealers. And Arbaal is here, so that's actually good. Arbaal, he's doing good damage against Tamurkhan, because of course he's a nice damage dealer himself. He won't survive the battle, so I'll just take him away when it's necessary, and I'll use my secondary, my hero, my exalted hero against him. And that's gonna be good. That's gonna be good. It's still it's not the best case scenario to fight Tamurkhan, but yeah. Man, the Beast of Nurgle is just so cute. I find it really cute. It looks like it has hair, and then it just got out of a hairdresser or something like that, with those sponges on the top of the hair. It's just super cool. And then we have the Bloodthirster. I don't want to send the Bloodthirster against Tamurkhan, because overall it's actually better here. He actually defeated by himself a unit of toads, and now it's defeating those units, those plague bearers. So Tamurkhan is not having a good time. He's almost depleted his health pool, but that's a big problem with Nurgle. Always make sure that you check the hit points, because when you see the bar is one thing, but then you You click on it and it has 2,000 hit points or 3,000, so that's a lot still. And I can assure you, Tamurkhan at this point has like 2,000 hit points and it's going to survive for quite a while. That's why we're sending the spawn that we just summoned, and we got to be careful with my skull crushers. Yep. Overall, I won on this side of the battle, and now we're getting to the point where I can send my hounds to the other side. The enemy is retreating, so we managed to hold on for quite some time. And Tamurkhan still has, look at that, 1,600. It seems like it has nothing, like it has like 100, and no, it has 1,000 more than that. And the biggest problem when this happened is that the spawn, of course, it's a summon unit, and now has been wiped out. And I was like, oh my god, he's gonna regenerate. He's gonna regenerate a lot unless I send someone in. So I ended up sending a lot of units in and killing him. So, yep. But you gotta be careful, even on these circumstances. Remember that Tamurkhan is unbreakable. So you gotta make sure that you have something that causes a lot of damage. Right now I have only Chaos Warriors of Khorne, and I sent in the Skull Crushers. That's why they are down to 3. I was so glad that they didn't die. But I got 12,000 of income there, and I could even get more. But Skulls for the Skull Throne is sounding really cool for all those skulls. Yep. So I get some Bloodthirsters there as well. I'll need to get at least 1 unit of Heralds, one Herald Lord, so that I can have all those units. Yep, Wound Maker. There we go. And let's go through this area so that I can reach the plains. That's good. That's the plan. He's gonna go for the plains, and Valmir the Clever is actually gonna go for the other cities. So overall, I gained a lot of income. So time to invest in some more buildings. Remember, your military buildings are the ones that provide you income. So the longer it goes, it's like you pass through a sacking economy and a post-battle loot economy to a more diverse economy where you have some buildings that produce income. It's never going to be enough to give you the income that you need unless you also invest in the upkeep. So it's kind of one of those situations where sometimes people say, oh, you should always sack with Khorne. Yes, but at the same time, it's still possible to have a lot of upkeep reductions in your places and to conquer places so that you have an income, an upkeep reduction building there, and together with upkeep reduction skills, you can do a sort of upkeep reduction and income-based economy as well. But it's not the most optimal. Most optimally, you're just sacking and fighting and all the time getting a lot of income, like you saw there. So I want the skulls. Yep. Faction destroyed and a walk that was successful. Biggest problem is to always see the walks. Okay, I have a dwarf army that is now... Biggest problem with the walks is that it tells you walks is heat, but you should have like a way to check the timer. Because sometimes you just want to engage a greenskins faction and you have no idea if their walk is about to expire or not. So, endless fuel, that seems good. More growth, more income. It's not like I'm requiring anything else. I was trying to bait any armies towards the near the plains, and I think I can actually raid here to get that quest for the legendary hero. Yeah, that's good. 500, that means it needed 800 if not mistaken, so I can get him in like 2 turns. So I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna use that place to raid. Oh yeah, there's an army. I just want to go close to Plains of Zambanjin. And that's a huge garrison, but I mean, with the reinforcements, I should have no trouble. And I want to advance as quick as possible as I can on this part of the campaign. So yeah, close victory, no units lost. Oh yeah, 1 unit that has 17, it will always be lost. So eventually. I can sack the place. 10k is quite nice. Yeah, I can sack the place. And then I can have some other battles here and get the necessary ones. So occupy, that's good. Yeah, it can be demonic, that's okay. Because the main building also reduces upkeep, so that's something that you need. Yeah, I want Minotaurs eventually, so I'm gonna have to do that building as well. It doesn't matter if it's demonic or not, by the way. The Minotaurs are a different class, or that building is on a different class. You can build it everywhere. So yeah, close victory, that's good. Doesn't matter that I lose a unit. These are all expendable. The biggest purpose is precisely for this. I'll be able to teleport to the next turn or so. Yeah, that's gonna be cool. To teleport for someone else. Deadly Onslaught. There we go. Deadly Onslaught as well. That's what I wanted there. And we're gonna get the Gallows Tree. That's cool. So I have that upkeep without having the bonus for the upkeep stuff, because I removed it. Yeah, you can't have it forever because it's a lot of corn favor gone. So let's invest in some buildings that have a little bit of upkeep and that also have some recruitment possibilities for heroes. I wanted some exalted heroes and everything, and also just increasing this. All that gives me upkeep reduction. So with the upkeep, with the armies, you know, if you have the buildings for the upkeep reduction plus the main one, you always have like very low upkeep when you conquer places or when you go back to your provinces, which is also a nice way of, you know, you want economy, you go back to your place, to your settlements, you get a better army, start recruiting, and then you're not paying too much for the armies that are there, and you can just invest like this, you know? So it's kind of balanced on that. I can fight that army. Yeah, that would be great. Not that one. And not that one, because I know that there's other armies nearby to defend it. But I think that Dwarven army is the best example here. I can even fight Throtty and Clean. But yeah, this army is perfect. Perfect for me. Yeah, look at that. It's going to be a perfect army for me to travel to. Get some favor. Yeah, that's going to be cool. And there's nothing here in the Gallows Tree, so I can teleport him pretty fine.
I will prove myself to Khorne.
So let's just join with my forces. I already checked, and I can do this, and then I can stay in raiding. I need a little bit more, so one more turn. It's kind of sad because I can't do what I wanted, which is to leave that place. To destroy Tamurkhan as quick as possible, so I'm gonna have to wait a turn. And the hounds, yeah, I really want the hounds, no, the blood shrine, and I think I'm just gonna give, just gonna give some of those skull reapers. Or do I keep the hounds? Because I kind of want some cavalry there, so I want this. Yeah, I think that's better. I think that's better. So that army is gonna help me get the skull reapers or wrathmongers kills that I need for the next for the legendary hero. You always have those quests. So yeah, let's travel. Oh, I cannot travel. Oh, I'm in. You gotta be careful with the conditions, guys. I'm in enemy territory. So there we go. And now I can travel. I could even fight against Skulltaker, but I kind of want him to fail and confederate, you know, so let's go and fight it out. Let's declare war. Well, who is at war with the dwarfs? Crooked Moon. Okay, that's cool. Let's join the war. It's nice. Some income. And now I realize that those dwarfs are different dwarfs. These are a neutral armies, so there's no wars like on them, so I just declared war for nothing. Yeah, it happens to everyone, I guess. It happens to me as well. So yeah. Let's fight it out, and let's see what we can have. So sending Arbaal as quick as possible with the Chaos Furies to attack the enemy artillery, as well sending my horsemen trying to flank and go over to those artillery units, and of course my other forces are trying to attack as soon as possible. The rush idea here is that you also give some targets to the artillery so they have to turn, right? And then you turn around and they cannot get a lock on you. And that allows you to just avoid for the most part. Like right now the cannons are firing the first shot and I'm already halfway through. So they're gonna have like 2-3 shots maybe before I'm into them, before I'm attacking them. So attacking these units here, these are all just missile units. And my Skull Crushers are already breaking through. Enemy Slayers were too far away. And this is just a charge that will get rid of the Thunderers. Yeah, good luck. Good luck. Send the dwarves away. And my Furies are destroying those units of cannons and grudge throwers. So, yep. Now they cannot do the damage that they are supposed to. And that's an easy victory if we're going to see one. So overall, if the enemy has more units or less units, you're going to still do the same type of idea. Just make sure, of course, that you don't lose out too much against, in prolonged skirmish. Because archers and gunpowder units will demolish missile cavalry if you have them in prolonged skirmish, They have more entities, they'll always cause more damage to you. So you lose out on the mobility. The mobility is supposed to make you do stuff like going around and ensuring that you attack their backs and to cause a distraction while your front line engages, And yep. Overall, this lord is surrounded by Chaos Warriors of Khorne. He's good, but not that good. And the enemies are likely to go and flee. Even dwarves flee. Except, of course, Slayers, which are going to be dead very soon. So overall, that was a nice victory. I didn't even check anything other than from the army, other than the catapults and the cannons. That's the only thing that I checked from that army. Because the rest of it, I knew that would be able to fight. And we got Scar Bloodwrath. Okay. Even though that's... Yeah, that's not the army that I want him in, because he buffs the... Where's the effects? Yeah, he buffs Skull Reapers and Wrathmongers, so I want him with the other Skull Reapers and Wrathmongers. So let's try... Let me remember him. Yeah, he has a heal per second ability, and he has Rage for the Marauders and Skull Reapers and Wrathmongers. Yeah. So an army of Skull Reapers, Wrathmongers, and Marauder Horsemen actually works really well with him. So yeah, that's exactly what we're gonna get. I can merge these units and find at least some way of getting him into the army right now. Yeah, let's move here. I'll have to eliminate that army very soon. Oh, I was thinking that there were some units that I could recruit, but I need it in other moments. So Khorne's chosen, yep. So we're getting units almost to the max. I mean, the Chaos Warriors of Khorne, they look better than the Chosen, the base Chosen at this moment in this army. So yeah, that's how good they are. You can do a lot with just Chaos Warriors. If you don't have the Chosen DLC, don't worry, you can still play Khorne really nicely, because the Chaos Warriors just do it so well. They're like mid-game tier units that can reach endgame no problem. Yeah, I was just checking a message, sorry about that. So, Disciples of Ashut. This is a problem because these guys, they're likely going to be at war with the Greenskins, and when it happens, they may be overrun, and suddenly I'm going to have the Greenskins come over and attack me, or they are going to attack me. So It's always a problem. Chosen built in one turn. It's ridiculous. Oh. So Tamurkhan is back, and I have only Valmir here, and I need to get that raiding going. So let me just get the reinforcements and see if I can resolve it easily. Maybe I'll take a not resolve just because I'm tired of fighting Tamurkhan at this point. Let's get less vigor reduction. It's always good to have some buffs for the army, and vigor, it's quite one of those effects that people don't misunderstand. It's like the same thing with leadership. It's important. It's always important. Let me get that hero here and breach my rule of only 2 heroes. It's kind of like an internal rule that I have. It's not something that you have to do or anything like that. And especially with Khorne, it's fine to have 1 hero alone because you don't have casters. That's the one thing that I miss when playing Khorne. I wish there was some form of casting, you know, like the dwarves have with their rune magic, let's say. But yeah, they don't have it. So I would give them some form of it with lots of abilities, but I guess with the items and such, you have something else to do. So, yep, that'll be it. Valmir should be able to deal with Tamurkhan with a lot of halberds, but that'll be on the next episode. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.